The truth is, no one really prepares us for what comes after student life, right? I can speak from my own experience. I, being a millennial, person who's born in the mid 80s, who grew up in the 90s and the early 2000s, I can tell you for a fact that many from my generation have never had this chat with any of the elders or their caregivers, because no one tells us these things. Not our parents, certainly not our teachers or our professors or our mentors, guides, and gurus. Definitely not the society at large. Definitely not your relative, your uncle, your aunt, your very accomplished older cousin, whatever. No one tells us about these things. That there is a difference in student life. There's a difference between student life and work life. And it is very important to understand this difference so that you are able to navigate your work life in the best manner. It is very important to understand those differences. So I'll start with a little incident from my own life. After graduating and then studying mass communications, I got absorbed by a very big newspaper company in India, in their Kolkata office. I was already freelancing for them. I was working as a stringer journalist, and I got employed by them because probably they thought that my work was good. So my first week in office, I turn up in what I would generally wear to college, denims and t-shirts. And back then, I'm talking about 2006, 7, 2006, yeah, 6 or 7, something like that. I graduated in 2005. So around that time, capri pants were very much in fashion. So I would wear capri pants, bohemian tops, torn denims, message t-shirts, floaters, etc. to work. So the first week I was more or less forgiven for that, because obviously, I think I was just 21 years old. Yeah. So I was sort of forgiven for that. But a week later, I was slightly chastised by a senior colleague who, of course, guided me that, it's best that you wear these kind of outfits to work. And she sort of guided me to the places where I would easily find good corporate outfits. That was that. So, yes, first you have to change the external appearance. You can't wear what you were used to wearing in college to office. You can't. Now, of course, things have changed a lot. I mean, college students dress very consciously these days, and they know how to put together a good outfit. But I'm talking about those who are not experts in this area of life. So there has to be a clear differentiation in your outfit from what you used to wear in college to what you would be wearing to office. So first, let's get the external appearance sorted, because when you're working a job, you have to interact with a lot of people from various backgrounds, from various socio-economic, cultural backgrounds. So it's best that you appear as someone who's presentable, someone who's neutral to them, so that the conversation goes properly, so that whatever you're proposing, whatever you're discussing, has a fruitful outcome. And your appearance plays a big role in that. So yes, you have to fix that. Second, no one tells you that your colleagues are not your college buddies, okay? A lot of us still make that transition from student life to office life and think that Colleagues are just like my college buddies, my bestie. Uh, they will shield me from the professor's anger, or they have my back when it comes to a difficult situation or a slippery situation. The truth is, no, your colleagues won't have your back. I mean, in some cases they will, but it's very rare. It's best that you go in with the given that they will not have your back, rather than go in with this misconception that they get you, or they'll shield you from things and then be disappointed, right? So, right from the outset, go in thinking that they are not your best friends. They are not your confidant, not your cousins, not your buddies. No, they are not. They are just your office colleagues. So, don't go in with that expectation. Third, the kind of competition that exists in the workplace is very different. Let me explain by giving an analogy. In school and college, what are we told? In school and college, we generally would be pitted against the other students in our class, and we would be told that why can't you get so much marks because so and so in your class is getting it, or you have to get more marks than so and so person this time, or look at so and so is topping the class, why aren't you? So yes, in school and college also there would be competition, but eventually the direction in which the competition would be geared towards would be the same, which was to pass the class, to get promotion to the next class, and score reasonably decent marks, right? So in school and college, the competitive nature would be individual, but the eventual outcome would be a collective outcome. In work life, in work life, this is just flipped. Okay. In work life, we are told that our team is working towards a collective common outcome, a collective, positive, fruitful common outcome. And we believe, okay, like we are all buddies in this thing together, we are going to make it, we're going to do this together. Come on, guys. What we miss out on is, even in that paradigm, you will probably not be aware, but your colleagues are actually competing with you. So that also becomes a sort of a silent competition. But we are told that we are all in this together. So the script is basically flipped when you make the transition from school or college life to office life. Because in office life, the competition is extremely fierce, and sometimes it can get a little corrosive, and oftentimes that stiff competition is given to you by your best buddy in office, and you'll never know till the very end when that person, X person, will get a certain project or will be made the team lead, and you'll not be considered. So our optics of the competitive environment that exists in college versus that exists in office has to be sorted. Our optics, that thing has to be sorted. The way we look at it, the way we approach it, that has to be sorted. Fourth, in college and in school, what would happen is the bonding would be unconditional. We wouldn't place conditions on our buddies that, okay, I'll be friends with you if you uh, bring so and so, if you bring aloo paratha in tiffin and share with me. No, there are none of these conditions. We don't form these conditions consciously or voluntarily. But in the workplace, these kind of bondings will be based on conditions. Could be as simple as, help me out with this project, I'll put in a good word about you to our manager. It could be anything. it could be anything, but it is always conditional. So that is another very important factor to note. Also, in school and college, what happens is, even though there is a semblance of a routine, for instance, Monday through Friday, on Mondays, maybe it's mostly math and physics and chemistry. On Tuesdays, it's mostly biology. Maybe Wednesdays, it's about literature. So your classes or your class periods will be arranged in a manner so that that monotony doesn't come. But in office, the work is mostly monotonous. For instance, if you're working in a digital marketing company, you know that you have around 15 clients, A, B, C, D, E, F, whatever, 15 clients. On Monday, you have these set of 15 clients. On Tuesday, it will not be a different set of 15 clients, right? It'll be the same. Even on Wednesday, even on Thursday, even on Friday, even next week, even next month, maybe next year. And if you worked for social media, you would know that yes, the work tends to get very repetitive. The processes are mostly unchanging in nature. New methods and processes are very rarely introduced. So, also in school and college, the recess period, the break times, the games times, the PT classes, arts and craft classes, that would also sort of help break the monotony. But in office, it's mostly your chai breaks, your sutta breaks, and the biggest thing that we wait for is Friday evening, so that we can just go to the nearest pub, have a beer or two with our buddies, go home, somehow spend Saturday and Sunday, and we're back again on Monday. So there's not much change in the process cycle in an office job. But in school and college, there would be some sort of a variety. So before joining an organization, keep these things in mind, work on these things, because if your expectations are not matching, or if you have a wrong set of expectations, you will start hating that new life right from day one. Don't let that happen to you. Okay? Don't let that happen to you. Get these things straight, get these in your head. Even if no one tells you, I am here to tell you this. Just keep these things in mind. Okay?